got the right bitch. No lefty, walking my truth, don't fuck with my 17 crawl for you walk. Run it, catch me, got a sharp tongue, spit. Jess with the T, Jess with the mess, Jeff the scariest. I done already addressed her ass, honey. So we just going to run it.
I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop?
Jeff the scariest. See, I ain't got too much for Mr. Ed. If you're from Baltimore, then you know Jess is dealing with her own trauma regarding being trans passing. She has constantly been mistaken for a trans woman all of her life. Clocked, daywalker, chopped for realness. Even carrying the baby, people thought she was a trans woman with a hernia. The chest, the hairline, the voice. Yeah, it's a little clocky over there. Also, Jess has constantly been cheated on with trans women because the men that she attracts are usually attracted to trans women. So with this, Jess has developed an incredible hatred, a transphobia. She feels a constant need to separate herself from trans women so that y'all know that she's cis. Whenever Jess gets a chance to take a shot at trans women publicly, baby, she's gonna shoot. This is evident in an example of her disrespecting Laverne Cox on The Breakfast Club.
Oh, no, Laverne is a man's name.
No,
but
that's
I
your
didn't know
silly
it.
ass
Well,
up.
She is the sole reason I stopped watching The Breakfast Club. If they're going to support Jess Hilarious, then they support transphobia. I do have a message for Jess. It is counterproductive with you being a trans-passing woman to constantly spread hate toward trans women. That hateful rhetoric, that hateful energy, that hate you propel is always going to fall back on you as a trans-passing woman. And you say that you're caping for your cisgender sisters, but that's not true. Because a lot of them are trans-passing as well. Just last week, I reported on YouTube about how Miss Michelle Dion Peacock's life was taken because a man assumed that she was trans. Jeff, baby, you are not helping the black community. You are not helping the women. And you daggone sure are not helping your own career. Yeah, honey, if you was here last week, then we definitely talked about Miss Michelle Peacock. We also talked about Colin Smith, and they were two cisgender people whose lives were taken because of transphobia. But ain't no problem. We can run it back real quick. I think it's necessary to run it back because apparently y'all be forgetting. 59-year-old Michelle Dion Peacock of Richmond, Indiana, was killed on July 3rd in her apartment complex. According to the affidavit, Tom Wayne Earl, 67 years old, Earl approached Michelle, who was in the gazebo outside of the apartment building, and slit her throat with a straight razor. The bystanders were still trying to hold him back when the police got there. Not only has she already passed away, but he still wanted to inflict harm against her body. Prior to this altercation, Michelle had been filing complaints against Tommy Earl, for approximately a year. He had apparently been harassing her throughout the apartment complex, and she was complaining to family members that nothing was being done. When investigators questioned Tommy Earl, he referred to Michelle as a male acting like a woman. A cisgender woman was stabbed to death because the killer believed that she was trans. As he was being arrested, he went on to say, quote, he would do it again, unquote. And he also admitted that he had had prior disputes with Michelle. The man who took her life even admitted that they had had prior incidents. And absolutely nothing was done. He is glad that he killed her and he would do it again even after finding out that she wasn't trans. Tommy also said that he doesn't want to be housed with black people in jail because he doesn't get along with them. Same weekend that Michelle was taken from us, so was Colin. Colin had gotten off of work. People began harassing and throwing slurs at one of Colin's friends. 32-year-old Colin started to defend his friend, and the man stabbed him several times around 1:49 a.m. This attack happens in southeast Portland, Oregon. It has been insinuated in all the reports that I've read and seen that the person who Colin was defending was trans, or at least gender non-conforming. Colin was stabbed fatally because he was protecting a friend. Rafnique Yusuf Jackson is the person who took Colin's life. Transphobia is hurting us all. You are entitled to feel however you want to feel about transgender people, but spreading hate will only ruin all of humanity. If you believe there's a conspiracy or an agenda, then you're absolutely right. There's an entity above us all that wants us to fight and hate each other in order to distract from the real issues, in order to distract from the real enemy. Y'all fighting the wrong fight, and y'all fighting with the wrong people. We are the bottom rung of the social hierarchy. You're not accomplishing anything by beating up on people at the bottom. By beating up on people at the bottom, you are only showing us and telling us that you want somebody to beat up on. And you ain't even wise enough to fight the right op. Just like Michelle is someone's mother, I, for example, am someone's daughter. If you would like to donate to Miss Michelle's GoFundMe, the link is in my bio. Peace, love, and blessings. And yes, the link for Miss Michelle's GoFundMe is still in the bio. Now, you may have come across those two videos because those two videos got a lot of traction on TikTok. The first video went viral on Twitter as well. However, a lot of people didn't see the entire response. The response was several minutes long, and I know people's attention spans are very short on TikTok, so I didn't post the entire response in one video. But you know I got it for y'all. So many people trying to figure out what the hell Blessing Rose was talking about when she said that women don't own periods.
Arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, because my thoughts come from the universe. I don't care about a period, never have. I don't even like pain.
There's no such thing as a biological woman,
because I am talking to my higher self.
Just like, what?
I've been told y'all that cis was nuts and bolts and cheese and crackers. We are not the same kinds of girl. And I'm glad that we're having this discussion publicly so that they can see that all black trans women ain't the same.
At the end of the day, that hood mentality isn't going to get us anywhere.
Y'all saying, you being transphobic, that's our girl.
You know it's your girl.
and let's be clear, it was black trans women and black gay men that showed you bitches what it means to present hyperfeminine, right?
Cisgender women are the archetype for female presentation. Since the dawn of contemporary drag, the relationship has been give and take between trans femmes and cisgender women.
When I grew up, you want to look like Marlene Dietrich, Betty Grable. Fortunately, I didn't know that I really wanted to look like Lena Horne.
But as soon as a trans woman takes their pills and and imitates women, right, now they can't call their cycle a period. And the fact that you said that we're just trying to imitate you and that's the highest form of flattery, no one's imitating you, we're imitating ourselves.
But if you're going to refer to your hormonal cycle as a period, a word that's been used by cisgender women for decades to refer to their menstruation, if you're going to do that, love, refer to your hormonal cycle as a period, it's given imitation. If it's not imitation, what would you call it, love?
But I'm literally the one that are telling trans people you don't have to transition to be trans.
So if you don't transition, are you really trans? Where is the trans part of the gender coming in? If it ain't you, then what's the point of saying it is?
And this is why I don't present as a quote-unquote woman most of the time. And this is why I deliberately don't go on hormones, and I deliberately don't do this because...
Baby, it seems like you still figuring out yourself.
I would do those things if I wanted to, if I felt like there was a need to. I don't.
Then why are you taking up space and speaking for people who do?
I think there's delusion involved because
But I still can't blame her for you transphobes. Y'all been knew she was nuts and bolts and cheese and crackers too, honey. Y'all shouldn't even be paying her ass no mind. The reason she have a platform is because you transphobes always use her as an excuse to spread y'all hate. All these actual sane transgender activists out here. And this is who you gonna go to for your trans advice. Clock out, everybody clock out. Shift over, we gonna shut it down. Baby, it seems pretty obvious that you've been dealing with some internalized transphobia and some hatred toward the cishet community, specifically women.
They start thinking in the way that a cis woman would, and a lot of cis women are really, really toxic.
You're not doing any of us any favors when it comes to trying to unite, when it comes to trying to humanize trans people.
clearly trans people don't think the same. And while that can be good in most cases, when it comes to how the world perceives us, we have to move a certain way, right? Because if we're not careful, we're going to perpetuate transphobia and we're going to allow more people to feel comfortable in their transphobia. Hello?
Activists like her make it difficult for the rest of the community.
I think it's time to talk to your phone less and talk to a therapist more.
Now, whether you do it or not, that's you. I can show you where the water is, but I can't force you to drink it, right?
Honey, baby, love, honey. In short, Blacks and Rose, I've been told y'all to stop paying attention to her ass. I've been told y'all that the toolbox ain't got the full set. I've been told y'all that, you know, a couple of the nails was missing off the hands, that a couple of the marbles was missing out of the game of jacks. They want to make everybody a trans activist as an excuse to be transphobic, baby. Honey dumpling darling. And the transphobes, they really like that post. They really like that post when I got Miss Blessing together. But, honey, they turned on me real quick. Honey, you should have seen the unfollows in my motherfucking... I said I was going to stop cussing, didn't I? But you should have seen the unfollows in my notifications, baby, honey. Because as soon as, you know, we rounded it out and we ended it with this part of the conversation, honey, a lot of the don't call me cisgenders was upset with me again.
The arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods.
Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey.
Y'all obsession with trans women is clouding your judgment so much that you didn't even realize the fact that there are a lot of trans men and trans masculine individuals who still have a menstrual cycle.
We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people.
Who have a uterus, who have all those organs. Trans men commonly carry babies, all of those things. Y'all did the same thing with the breastfeeding thing. Trans men also can have mammary glands and breastfeed children. Anytime somebody makes a point about transness, you refuse to consider the fact that there are trans people who were assigned female at birth. There are trans people who were born with vaginas, and that just seems to go over y'all head. And it ain't about respecting other women either, because a lot of y'all transphobes look at trans men as women, and you don't respect their wishes either. You on here disrespecting them. You so obsessed with these men coming and invading your space, what little space you feel like you have. And you see us transgender women as men. Not only does your willful ignorance cause you to refuse to look at us as women, you can't even look at us as something other than men. And it's so confusing because y'all be the same women who claim to love men. But I guess you really don't care about men unless you have the option of sleeping with them or manipulating them with your appeal, huh? Oh, y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane?
And if y'all really do believe that us trans people are mentally ill and delusional, what type of compassion do you have for the mentally ill? Be the same people that degrade us, be hateful toward us, and promote the fact that we should be harmed or not exist at all. I'm assuming that if you're transphobic, then you the same type of parent that would abuse your child if they had a disability. Or what you perceive as a disability. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that transness is a mental illness, even though a lot of y'all are mentally ill. I'm simply stating the hypothetical that if what these people are saying, that if we really are crazy, why would they treat us like this? Speak now, speak quick. Answer. Now you want to talk about womanhood. Now you want to cape for womanhood.
Y'all don't give a fuck about y'all goddamn womanhood. If y'all gave a fuck about protecting your womanhood, y'all would have been in them streets fighting when they was snatching away our reproductive rights left and motherfucking right, bitch. Y'all don't give a fuck.
Me and many of my trans sisters was out here caping for reproductive organs that y'all quick to remind us that we ain't even got. We get the luxury of coming online hearing y'all talking crazy about us.
Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up.
Maybe there is 1 or 2 psychotic trans women that are trying to take y'all place in the world.
And imitates women, right? Now they can't call their cycle a period.
But that's not the majority of us. Many cisgender women feel like their spaces are being invaded, and that is fair for them to feel that because a lot of women's spaces are being invaded by men, legally and physically.
Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us?
If you truly want equality, I suggest that we all be gentle with each other. Yes. And that is still where I stand. That is still how I feel about it. We need to be gentle with each other, y'all. We're not going to accomplish nothing by fighting on each other, especially when you're fighting on people that's socially, in a hierarchy perspective, beneath you. Like, seriously, that's what we's on. Is that what we's on? What's going on, Sean? How you doing, Sean? Sean, you done probably seen all these videos because Sean be supporting their girl. Sorry, Sean. You know, I'm an example of a work in progress. Baby, I'm working on the pronouns. I ain't perfect, but one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my opinion. And whenever y'all educate me, and whenever my opinion changes, I'm going to share that as well. Thank you. Where is the tea? AR, you want the tea? You knew the ballroom tea was yesterday. Today ain't Tuesday, but you know, any day I come on here, we got some tea for you, honey. You know, any day I come up on here, we got some tea for you. And I just want to key for a minute because it's so many people I could bring up. It's so many things that I could talk about and discuss regarding this whole tea with Blessing Rose and Carol Ann, Jeff the Scariest, whatever. All of this, I mean, all of the girls then came out the damn woodworks. You know what I mean? I thought it was 4th of July. So many girls was coming out the woodworks, bitch, honey. Thought it was somebody's birthday. They was popping out of cakes and everything, having opinions. Instagram models having opinions and everything. And it's like, girl, you don't even get paid to talk. Girl, don't fuck up your coins, honey. But, of course, Tasha K's drunken pussy hopped in the conversation. And my girl Maddie got her together. So I just want to share that with y'all, honey. And today, Maddie is the woman of color that we are supporting. All right? Y'all go follow T.S. Madison. Girl, go follow T.S. Madison Hinton on all platforms and support my good sis. It ain't hard to find her. Stop playing in my face. Run it.
First of all, Tasha K, bitch, fuck you. Fuck you, you whirlpool, wishy-washy, flip-floppity ass bitch. I really wasn't gonna come on with no motherfucking malice or ill in my heart, because the second part of what I'm getting ready to talk about I don't have no malice or illness in my heart. But you bald head, scallywag, dirty foot dragging, drunk pussy ditzy bitch. Play with your pussy, bitch, and don't play with motherfucking me. Bitch, when you brought your struggling ass over here, bitch, I sent my makeup artist to fix your ugly ass up. Okay? Let's get that for number one. Bitch, you borrowed from me. Number one. Number motherfucking two, bitch. If it wasn't for me and Kaya split, bitch, you'll be trying to figure out who the fuck you is. One thing T.S. Madison has always done is stood on that bitch. She is T.S. fucking Madison, bitch. I told y'all bitches I had dick at the bottom and titty at the top, bitch, from day one when the door fucking opened. And the only reason why I'm not gonna get on your mama is because your mama ain't did nothing to me. Now, bitch, you got 4 million motherfucking problems that you need to be worrying about, bitch. You flipping asshole. And you don't need to be worrying shit about motherfucking me. You need to be trying to take care of them 4 million motherfucking problems you got, bitch. Before them goddamn African kids be out there on Save a Child, bitch, paying 35 cents a day, walking around trying to get their next meal. Find you somebody to play with, pussy asshole, bitch. I'm from Miami, Florida, just like, bitch, you from Florida. Punk, bitch. I ain't never did shit to you. Brought your struggling, ditzy, drunk ass into my motherfucking house. That's how you phony bitches work. Off the door. Fuck your pussy ass. Fuck you and the motherfucking football head ass kids you got, bitch. Don't play with me, ho. I don't like pussy ass bitches like you because it always be bitches like you that always do fuck shit like that. It's always you. That's how I know you a Florida bitch. I done grew up with bitches like you just like that. You was just calling Jess a man 2 motherfucking days ago. Ugly ass hoe. Bitch, if it wasn't for my motherfucking makeup artist, bitch, you wouldn't look nice as you do now. Cause you's an ugly motherfucker. Just like your man, bitch. Cause we got the pictures. That's number motherfucking one. You ain't loyal to nobody, so I wouldn't expect anything less of you. You a scumbag ass bitch, foot dragging ass motherfucking hoe. You, bitch, Tasha K. I'm talking directly to motherfuckers today. Fuck you. Again, if it was not for me and Kaya falling out, bitch, you wouldn't even motherfucking.
All right, Maddie, because you about to get a bitch video demonetized completely, bitch. I'm probably already hitting ad suitability and shit right now, girl. Honey, Jesus. Honey, pray for me and my income. Honey, I'm ready to put my Cash App on here like the rest of the girls do. Sean says, I mean, you can be trans if you don't go on HRT, especially if access or healthcare issues, but other than that, question mark. Sean, I beg to disagree. I think that there's a lot of nuance when it comes to hormone replacement therapy. I tell y'all all the time that broken clocks are right twice a day. And there's a lot of things that I don't speak on because there's enough transphobes who do speak on them and speak on them honestly. And one of those things is the effects of hormone therapy, the long-term effects of hormone therapy, just like introducing anything else synthetic into your system. It does have side effects. It does have unwarranted side effects outside of the secondary sex characteristics that you can develop using hormone therapy. And I just say all of that to say and to inform y'all that, honey, I'm not on estrogen right now, honey, and I'm going through it. I'm going through it, honey. I am putting out an application for friends with benefits, honey. It is only one. It is only one entry open, honey. My Instagram link is in the description. Honey, if you're interested and you're in the DMV area, we can discuss. Maybe, I don't know. But just put the application in just in case. You never know. I'm pansexual. But yeah, I'm not on estrogen, for example, right now. For me, I had surgery. The surgeries that I have had, I've had to feminize myself permanently so that I didn't have to stay on estrogen for the rest of my life. I don't want to have to stay on estrogen for the rest of my life. My family has a great, and when I say great, I'm not saying it in a positive sense, but great as in a large sense. My family has a huge history with cancer. I've been getting prostate exams, mammograms, all of the things since my early 20s. It was before 25 that I had my first prostate exam. And not long after I was having my first mammogram. So I say all that to say that that's the reason why I'm not not on estrogen, and also say that because the whole hormone therapy conversation it's very nuanced. It very much depends on the person. It very much depends on how the person plans to live their life. And everybody has the choice whether they do or don't want to introduce hormones into their system. There are other ways to feminize yourself without hormone therapy. There are ways to masculinize yourself without hormone therapy. I actually have a trans model friend who commonly does ads, commonly gets gigs, and he's openly trans, but still a lot of people don't realize that he's trans, and he's never gone through testosterone therapy. He's never had testosterone introduced into his system medically. So yeah, so it's very nuanced, but realistically, if you're not fucking trans, you're not trans. You know, if you feel trans, that's what non-binary is for. That's what agender is for. That's what all of the other letters are for. But if there has been no transition socially, medically, physically, I just don't understand the point in wanting to label yourself trans, especially when there's so much debate. Realistically, I know. Morally, I know. To me, in my heart, people are however they identify. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just asking the question. Why would you publicly consider yourself trans if you're not going through transition? I know for me personally, I had a psychological journey. My psychological journey was longer and stronger than the physical journey. I passed for a woman before hormones, before surgeries, before any of that. Like, even before I started wearing women's clothes, people thought that I was a butch lesbian. I essentially was one of those girls that looked like a femme queen overnight. I looked like a woman overnight. But the psychological journey for me to truly live my life and transition legally and transition socially, it was a lot. And for most of the trans people I know, it's a lot and it takes a lot. But when we're in that phase, when we're in those phases, none of the trans people I know personally, or I have personal relationships with, none of us ran around saying that we were trans before we took any steps to start transitioning regardless of how trans we felt. And for us, we felt like it wasn't fair to consider ourselves trans before we make a social transition, before we make a medical transition, before we make a legal transition. So I'm just confused. I don't understand the point in that, the point in claiming that you're a binary trans man or a binary trans woman when you have made no transition. I don't educate me. I'm open to the education. I'm open to the conversation.